Good morning and hello again. This is our next edition of our FAQs, and I get a lot of people that are very confused, and I personally think we need a better name for it. But what is a living will? So a living will, so many times people get confused as to whether or not that's their last will and testament. It is not. Your last will and testament decides who gets what after you've passed. A living will applies to while you're still alive, hence why it's called a living will, okay? So you're in a situation where you are terminally and irreversibly ill or injured. You're unable to communicate, you're on life support. Your living will is going to clarify what time, after what number of days, would you want to be taken off of life support. That could be 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 30 days. It's totally up to you. But the idea is that you've thought about it ahead of time. You've put it in writing. So that way, if your family does find that they're in that situation with you, and they're wondering, well, what would mom do? What would dad do? What would aunt do? What would my loved one want to do? And want me to do in this situation? You've clarified it in your living will. I often say to someone, you may want 7 days to give your family a chance to process everything that's going on. You may want to have, 14 days to give family that lives overseas or in another state time to come and say their final goodbyes. You may want 30 days for a second opinion. You choose the amount of days that you want, okay? And then after that number of days, if there's no improvement seen, they're going to take you off life support. And the nice thing about that is every family member is going to differ on what they think the person would want. And so someone might say 3 days, someone might say 7, someone might say a month, someone might say keep them on there forever, miracles happen. And now you've got family conflict, and you've gotten very, people are fighting. The guilt is on the person who actually has the healthcare power of attorney and has to make the decision. And he has all these people coming at him with what they think you would have wanted. If you have it in your living will, and you've made that decision, and it's in writing, you've taken that pain, that guilt, and that conflict away, and your family knows this is what you would want. Today is February 24th, 2024, and there's been a recent storyline on a soap opera called Bold and the Beautiful, in which this was exactly what happened. The oldest son, Rich, was given the healthcare power of attorney by his dad, and his dad was going through health issues. He collapsed, and Rich had all the family members coming to tell him, what dad would have wanted, what dad would have wanted, what dad would have wanted, and he had to make the decision as to what he believed was best for dad. I won't tell you what happens. I won't go into all of the details, but it was a great storyline, and it just goes to show how important having a living will is, not just for you and making sure that what you want happens, but for your family. And there's a lot of pressure anyway, but absolving them of any guilt or any pain in knowing that they've done what you wanted. So thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, reach out to me at ralstonlawestateplanning.com. And I'm going to move on in a few minutes to our next video.